It's Diane from Teach Pre-K, and I'm finally gonna do my Thanksgiving literacy video. And everything that I'm gonna show you is in my Thanksgiving lesson plan. But it might also, you guys, when I tell you these things are in my Thanksgiving lesson plan, great, check it out. But if you don't want to, it's totally okay. Hopefully I'll give you some ideas that you can do just on your own, like this one, which is one of my favorites. Okay, the first one I'm going to show you is, again, turkey feathers. So I just cut out these long ovals. I have the kids write a letter of their name on each one near the top. Okay, my daughter's name is Jordan, so I always use my daughter Jordan or Ashton's name. So then we've got a turkey body that they can glue these to. And so we make these cute little name turkeys. It is a great name writing exercise. It is a great fine motor. It's a fun little craft. It's a fun thing they can take home. It's a cute little keepsake. All my turkeys, I use two-dimensional beaks, which I love. And you can tell this, I've got it stuck on with double stick tape, but stick on eyes and a little waddle. And the bodies that I make are either circles or this kind of weird, what you call hourglass shape. There's a template for both the feathers and the turkey body in my lesson plan on Teachers Pay Teachers. Of course, I always put my links in the description, but that is just a fun, super fun name activity. Festive, cute, the kids like it. I like it. Another thing that I have in that lesson plan is I have got letter and sounds puzzles. Now, when I print these out, I print them on cardstock, and then I will laminate them with 5mm laminating pouches because it makes them sturdier and stick together better. But I have these little 2-part puzzles. Super easy, and they all have a beginning sound, kind of Thanksgiving themed word. So A, of course, is for apple pie. All the letters are lowercase. I think that's super important. And here we have B is boat. C is corn. So I do every letter of the alphabet. Some of the things you're going to go, okay, that's a stretch. Because it is, but I just want to get those beginning sounds and letters going with the kids so that they start relating those together. Another thing I do in all of my lesson plans, and this is my old version, my new version is just mostly white with just a cute little frame. But I do a memory game. So I have all these little cards that you can cut out that have to do with Thanksgiving. So we'll get a lot of Thanksgiving vocabulary. You know, things like that. I've got turkey. Aw, love. Eating. Wishbone. Dinner. Food. I like to do memory games for vocabulary. There's so many ways that you can do it. You can do one set face up. You give them another. They need to find their match, and then we talk about what that word is. That's the easiest way. Doing the memory with too many cards when they're all face down is really hard for little kids. So if I'm going to do a face down memory, I will do it the same way. I'll just do one set face down, and I'll probably do up to 12 cards. I'll give them another, but then I just let them flip until they get their match. And then we flip them over, and it's the next person's turn. It's really important that the kids feel successful and are having fun, and they're going to learn those vocabulary words. That's the point of the game. It's not how great their memory is and how good they are at a memory game. It is how well are they learning these vocabulary words for Thanksgiving. Another thing that I've got, and again, this is my old version. My new version is just a cleaned up version of this, mostly white, so it doesn't take so much colored ink. But I have decks of both uppercase and lowercase alphabet cards. And then you can get a dauber, a highlighter, a marker. I've got upper and lowercase sheets. So when you pull a letter, they find that letter and they mark it somehow. I like using the daubers because I don't use the daubers all the time. And it's just kind of special and fun. But caveat here, I will do upper to upper or lower to lower. Wait, did I get that wrong? Probably. I can do a mix. I can do, here's the uppercase letters, where's the lowercase, or vice versa. I'll probably wait until later in the year, maybe after Christmas, to do an activity like that with pre-K. But I just think a straight match is better. And with my pre-K, I'll use all the letters. With my preschool kids, my 3-year-olds, I will do all the letters that we've learned, and then I will add the letters of their name in. So it will end up being 12 to 15 letters, and that's it. And then they're finished. Because it's just, it becomes really tedious for them to go through 26 letters when it's hard. The pre-K kids, it's easier. And they can just do them so fast. And it's, the tedium's gone. It's more of a challenge to them. Does that make sense? But I want you to always consider that when doing any activity with your kids. You want them to learn and feel successful. That's when learning becomes fun. Anything that is making learning not fun, it's almost useless in preschool and pre-K, because they learn through play. They learn when they're having fun. They're going to retain the things they're having fun learning about a lot easier and better, right? Okay. And I think that lasts past preschool and pre-K. Another fun introduction to rhyming game I like to do is the rhyme, not a rhyme. You will see these in tons of my lesson plans. So I have rhyming pair cards. If they don't rhyme, you put them on not a rhyme. If they rhyme, you put them on rhyme. And we will do this like together, like each kid will get a card, but as a group we'll decide, does that rhyme, does that not rhyme? So I'll just show you some of the cards that I've got. I've got like cat hat, cat hat, corn jacket, rock cabin, helicopter flower, oh my gosh, upside down, this is embarrassing, mouse house, cake rake, bat cat. So you see, I am trying to, oh my gosh, they're every which way. Eye pie, barn yarn. So I will say these with them, car star. So we're putting them if they rhyme or not rhyme. And I will really like emphasize that ending sound of the words to kind of help them. You guys, some kids are not going to understand rhyming, and they're just not going to hear it and not get it. And that's okay. Kindergarten is when they will all really start getting it. Some kids will get it when they're 3. Some kids will get it when they're 4 and 5. Other kids, it's going to take until they're around 6. And some maybe even later. But it's not one of those things where you need to stress about if kids are not rhyming when they're 3 or 4. I will never put rhyming on an assessment. If they know rhyming, I will always tell the parents, I'm like, that's great. It will be, part of the things that I know about that child, but it's not going to be part of my normal assessment. I just think it's one of those things that's a little too out there. Another thing that we do is we just sort upper and lowercase letters. And this is a great activity for your 3-year-olds. So I've got letter cards that are upper and lowercase. I mix them up. I'm not going to do 52. I will just pick and choose the letters we've learned, first letters of their names, so things we're familiar with. And let me show you the cards so you can see. So I have every letter of the alphabet, and they all have these cute little acorns up on top. So this is my lowercase deck, and This is my Uppercase deck. Some kids are going to go through these super quick. Other kids, not so quick. Like pre-K, if I wanted to do this with pre-K, I would do 52 letters because they're going to be able to do it lickety-split. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them being stressed out and just not getting it. But this is in that Thanksgiving lesson plan as well. And of course, you guys, there's always links for everything. I made this freebie a long time ago, you guys. I haven't even looked at it in years. It's so funny. I'm looking at the font. I'm looking at how I did these. Wow, I came really far. But I have this as a free resource. It's just flashcards of every letter of the alphabet with Thanksgiving pictures. So I'll leave the link to this too because this is great for circle time. For literacy centers, if you want to do a write the room or anything like that, or hide letters. A deck of letter cards is useful, especially if you want to do like a call and response. But another thing that's in my lesson plan, I make these foldable books that they're little foldable coloring books that my kids color, and I did have one folded and ready to go, but the kids color them flat, and when they're done, we fold them, and it makes a little book. This one is about pilgrims. Pilgrims sailed to America. Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock. Pilgrims made new friends. And pilgrims shared food with friends. So, like I said, that's when I used to do a lot more for Thanksgiving stuff. I don't do as much of that anymore, but it is still part of the Thanksgiving story. It is, a little bit of the story or myth that I will share with the kids. Another fun little game is just then and now. So I have a then mat and a now mat. And then I have these little cards that we will go through. And we've got a lamp for light. We've got pen and paper. This looks like a lot of now stuff. Oh my gosh, I have like mashed potatoes and stuff. That is not a then or a now. Hold on. We have the slate and chalk, like the pen and the paper. The candle, which was the then to the now of the lamp. Let's see. The quill and ink, which was the then to the now of the pen. And then I've got my now and then. Now and then. What, you guys? I'm losing my mind. I have like a little log cabin that goes with this. They cooked over their fireplace or a stove. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my head. They drove a car or they rode a horse. This is kind of what dresses look like now as opposed to the little pilgrim dresses of then. And yeah, like a little log cabin and a house. So that's just a sorting game. The kids always like a sorting game. You guys, this is not by any means all of the literacy activities that I do. I always, and I'll just bring this out. I always do the little old lady books. I have a little old lady that they can feed. I have done pictures in the past, and they just smush them up and feed the little old lady. But my cute co-teacher has got manipulative little things for every single book. So we all use those now. And it's just super cute and super fun. And I mean, we all love those. The kids love it. It's one of those centers where the kids will go again, And I have to crack up because the teacher across the hall who teaches the toddlers is one of my best friends. She hates those books so much. She just hates them. But the kids love them. And it drives her crazy. She hates Pete the Cat too. It's an illustration thing for her. She likes super sweet illustrations, and those aren't super sweet. Okay. I have so many decks of these that I've made. And this is, I've had Alphabet Boo, Alphabet Crunch, Alphabet Beep. This is Alphabet Gobble. So I have uppercase and I think lowercase of these. I usually will just use the uppercase with my 3s. And maybe lowercase with my 4s. Sometimes I just use just one deck because I don't want to print all those out. But we will go through and we'll sing the alphabet song. So, you know, I've done this with you guys before if you've seen my videos. A, B, C, D, E, Gobble. Okay, so when we start this, I always do this at circle time. I always show them the special card and we practice. Okay, we got to say Gobble. And you can say Gobble or you can go or Gobble, Gobble, Gobble. So the kids do it any way they want, but they have to do it kind of loud but not scream. And of course, they always end up screaming. But I just will place the Gobble cards in the alphabet cards and we sing the alphabet. We pause when they do a Gobble. I act like I'm terrified because I'm not watching. And you guys, sometimes I am terrified. Sometimes I forget where I put them and they scare me to death with their extra loud. But this is another one. We finish and they go again. This has been instrumental in teaching my kids the alphabet. When I start doing these, like September I do apples, October I do Boo for Halloween and it's a ghost. I do Gobble for this. I just did transportation and it's a car going beep. But anytime that I do this, I notice I'm going, whoa, they know so many more letters than they did before. And this is part of the reason. It's part of the reason. It's a super fun way to relate that song because a lot of parents will go, oh, my child knows the alphabet song. And that's meaningless because they memorized a song. It doesn't mean they know all their letters, right? Their letter identification. But you start doing this. You do this every day for 2 weeks, every day for 3 weeks. You know, they got it. They got it. I have a winter one where I do ABC Plop. If you guys are interested in these, let me know. I was going to put this in my Teachers Pay Teacher store, just a year full of alphabet Gobble, whatever. I don't even know what to call them, but you guys, this is awesome. But you can also, you guys, those flashcards that I showed you that were free, just cut something the same size and you glue a turkey on it, you know, and you can do the same thing. So, and you cannot find that in my Teachers Pay Teacher store because I think I just made it up out of thin air, brought it to school after I printed it out and cut it, and that's it. So I probably should put a whole resource of those together because I think people would really enjoy them. Anyway, that is it. I am done with my Thanksgiving stuff. I also have a Thanksgiving bingo, which just reinforces our Thanksgiving vocabulary. It's wonderful. It's also in that lesson plan, and I'll have the links below. Thanks so much, and happy Thanksgiving.